Hello, everyone. First of all, I am Maria Torres. I was born and raised in Guadalajara, Mexico. I'm so proud to be a Mexican. Guadalajara is the second biggest city in Mexico and is the capital of mariachi and tequila. I have some years living in San Francisco, California, and for the moment, I'm so glad to introduce you to my chosen photographer, Graciela Iturbide. When I investigated her work, I was captivated by her images and her process. Graciela Iturbide was born in 1942 in Mexico City. She is the eldest daughter of her family. She lived in a world where expectations were set and not questioned. She got married and had three children in her early 20s. She had a regular life until she decided to enroll at the age of 27 at the film school at the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, UNAM. And by the way, after that also she got divorced. Her style is based on her strong interest in culture, ritual, and everyday life in her native Mexico and other countries. Iturbide has extended the concept of documentary photography to explore the relationships between man and nature, the individual and the cultural, the real and the psychological. A lot of people think that she also has a surrealism style when she photographed herself in some pictures. When I watch those pictures, I totally believe in that. They have magic and they are surrealism. I believe in that. Her biggest teacher was Manuel Alvarez Bravo, who was one of the biggest photographers in Mexico. Graciela Iturbide was his assistant on her various photographic journeys throughout Mexico. Graciela worked with him around 1.5 years. Manuel was a photographer focused in street and social photography of Mexico. That is, he was one of the reasons that she became a photographer because if you remember, I told you that uh, she uh, she was studying film, but um, after she was with Manuel Alvarez Bravo, she became a photographer, and he was her biggest influence. When I started to know Graciela's work, I hooked by some images that they were captured when she lost her daughter at the age of 6 years old. She was so sad and she tried to find understanding. In one interview, she tells that a few pictures were taken while she used to go to the psychologist because her daughter passed away in those moments. In that period, she portrayed herself and the death. This is a series of images of when a child is born. In 1978, Graciela was sent to photograph the Mexico's indigenous population by the Ethnographic Archive of the National Indigenous Institute of Mexico. She decides to document the way they lived. Here are some portraits of the latest series. This is the Angel Woman, one of her famous pictures. I totally believe in her magic. Iturbide captured this image when the lady was walking on the mountain carrying her old music player. Juchitán, Juchitán, Juchitán de las mujeres, Juchitán of women. Juchitán is a town in Oaxaca, Mexico. In this town, women are not shy from speaking their minds. It was Juchitán that Iturbide met the Zapotec women who ran the local community and economy. Inspired by the independence, Iturbide photographed in Juchitán and off between 1979 and 1989, releasing a monograph entitled Juchitán de las Mujeres in 1989. That means Juchitán of Women. Graciela was in a traditional market in Juchitán when she saw this lady trying to sell her iguanas. She was carrying them on her head, and Graciela didn't lose the opportunity to capture that image. This picture became an icon so popular that there is a statue of this woman made in Juchitán as well as murals and graffiti. Actually, this picture is in the San Francisco MoMA, Our Lady of the Iguanas. That is the name. This project was Francisco Toledo's idea, another big influence on Graciela's career. He was from Juchitán, by the way. Francisco Toledo was a sculptor, painter, and graphic artist. He invited Graciela to document women of Juchitán. She has been awarded by Legacy Award, Smithsonian Latino Center, Washington, D.C., and award at the Rencontres Photographiques Arles, France, just for saying some. I just want to say that Graciela is amazing. I get with one quote of her that in one of her interviews said, "The unconscious obsession that we have causes us to find ourselves everywhere with the subject that we have inside." I remember I have liked photography because I want to capture emotions. I think a photograph can say a lot. You can feel even with an image. Due to this factor, I was reading Graciela to read the process of photograph and just fell in love. I was totally hooked with her work. Thank you so much. Have a good night.